playing great defense plus scoring help, especially from Jaylen Brown and Kemba Walker. They can now close it out into Game 6. As far as the Raptors, though, fellas, you could visibly see their frustration last night. Kyle Lowry got a tech. Stephen A., they weren't themselves. Plain and simple. Raptors done?
I believe so. I believe they've been done since they were down 0-2 because my position was Toronto is not going to win 4 of the next 5 games. That was just my mentality. I didn't see that happening. I still don't see that happening. For exact reasons that we saw last night. I think that Boston is elite defensively. They have athletic dudes who are tall and lanky that can get out and contest and defend. Anunoby's game winner in Game 3 notwithstanding, the bottom line is if it wasn't for Jaylen Brown dropping the ball or Brad Stevens having them play a zone instead of manning up, they might have gotten swept because they would have been down 3-0, and that would have been that. But that didn't happen. Give the world champions credit for coming out and battling and fighting and even the series leading into last night. But the first 8 minutes and 53 seconds told the whole story. Toronto had 18 possessions. They shot 2 of 15 from the field. Couldn't do anything offensively. They ended up being down by about 27 at the half, by about 30, as many as 30 in the game, and it was a romp. Boston just handled their business, but they did it on the defensive end. It wasn't that they were elite offensively or anything like that, even though they can score, they can put up points, particularly from the perimeter, with Brown, with Kemba Walker, with Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart. We can't say enough about that Energizer Bunny that he is, and that stalwart defensive player that he is, but he's also hitting perimeter shots as well. And so I'm just looking at it from that perspective, and it goes back to the same mentality that I had when Boston was up 2-0. I did not see Toronto coming back and winning 4 games. For the next 5 games, I certainly don't see it now. I think it's over.
Yeah, I mean, you're down 0-2. Technically, that's right. You have to win 4 out of 5. But, in fact, that's not the way you have to think about it. You just got to win the next game. And then the odds reset. Then it's 2-1. Then it's 2-2. And at some point, someone was going to have to be 3-2, right, heading into a Game 6 if there's like this was going to happen. So is it over? No. The Raptors just need to win the next game, and then it's you take it 1 game at a time, and then it's anyone's ballgame. They win 2 out of the next 3. It's completely doable. I would not say they're done. I think it comes down, actually, Stephen A., to Nick Nurse. You saw, look, Brad Stevens is an excellent coach, so is Nick Nurse, and in fact, only one of them has championship pedigree on the NBA level as a head coach, and that's Nick Nurse. Marcus Smart was really the key. Marcus Smart, look, Kyle Lowry after Game 4, it's like, is he the great, other than Kawhi Leonard, who was only there briefly, is Kyle Lowry the greatest Raptor ever? And there were some people talking about, I forgot who had this debate, but is he going to make the Hall of Fame? And all this kind of stuff. You saw it on social media. And what happened? Brad Stevens is like, okay, let me take Marcus Smart and put him on Kyle Lowry. And it worked. And the Celtics are very good. You're right. It's not just that they have a lot of elite offensive players or the next thing to elite, including Gordon Hayward when he's healthy, but they really play defense. And the reason they're actually championship contenders, not pretenders this year, I thought from the beginning. And the reason is their defense. They play excellent defense in their wins. And a lot of that is coaching, and some of it may be that some of those minutes need to get absorbed and certain players need to step up and take a bigger role when one key guy goes out, and that's Marcus Smart, and they did themselves a favor with the way they've used him and obviously the way he's played. But that doesn't mean Toronto's done. This is a team that won the championship as recently as, last year, down 0-2 to a team with the best record in basketball, and the Greek Freak before he was exposed as really needing that crime partner in order to excel in the playoffs. And that was before, because he had a very, very good playoffs until then. So I would not say the Raptors are done. I think it comes down to their coach and the adjustments he can make. And I still think this is an intriguing series that can go either way.
I don't think the team were devoid of adjustments in Game 5. I just think that they got outplayed, that Boston amped up their defense and challenged them. And I think that as great as we know Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet to be in terms of their ability to make perimeter shots and, more importantly, to defend. In Kyle Lowry's case, drawing offensive fouls. In VanVleet's case, in terms of playing the passing lanes and being a disruptive defender from a spy perspective, when you look at these guys, they're relatively undersized. Kemba Walker is the one guy that obviously you don't look at them as undersized against him. Even Marcus Smart, he's a big guy, but he's basically a defender. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, what are you going to do with that? Wanamaker comes off the bench and gives you 15. This guy comes off the bench and gives you 15. And so you just look at it. Brad Stevens is basically playing a 6-man rotation. He might throw some guys in the mix, to spell for guys for a couple of minutes or whatever the case may be. But it's basically those 6 guys. And Toronto doesn't really seem to have any answer for them whatsoever. Boston could have easily won the first 4 games if it were not for a mistake here or there. I just think that their level of dominance that they've shown throughout this series, in a couple of games at the very least, I think has shown us they're the better team this year. I don't think there's any question about that.
That I agree with. I think Boston has outplayed Toronto. The way they match up, or maybe they're just better. Even through 4 games, if you had to say which team was better, you would say Boston based on those 4 games. Be that as it may, right now it's 3-2. And if you're telling me there's no way Toronto can win Game 6, I'm telling you you're wrong. And then it comes down to 1 game, and they can win that too. This is a resilient team, the reigning champs, even though they don't have Kawhi, and I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. Even when Boston was up 2-0, I gave Toronto the benefit of the doubt, and I continue to do so.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.